missed whose
Uh, there shall be
no,
police
whose amendment, Mr. President? Is it the committee amendment?
Yeah, individual, individual amendment from coming from yours truly.
Okay. May I be enlightened, Mr. President? Because when we travel abroad, sometimes there is a police, ano ba tawag? Attaché,
Police
no?
attaché.
Attaché. Is this in all? Yeah, where, Mr. President?
Only one shall have the rank of Police Brigadier General. It's in the United States, Mr. President, Your Honor.
No,
It was sa Washington, D.C.
Yes, Mr. President, but the first line that says there shall be police attachés occupying the position of police officer and diplomat
With the rank of Police Colonel.
where? In where?
In other jurisdictions.
Yeah, ano nga ho yung jurisdictions na yun? What is other jurisdictions?
Ano ba, Pakistan?
All embassies, all consulates, paano ho ba yun? Kasi medyo marami ho yun, ah.
Yes, right now, Mr. President, Your Honor, we are maintaining a total of ilan? 7 police attachés all over the world, Mr. President, including U.S.
And what is the
including
proposal?
the United States.
And
So-
what is the proposal?
So the proposal is to make the police attaché in the United States to have the rank of Police Brigadier General, because right now, the one assigned there is only having the rank of Police Colonel. And correction, Mr. President. It was not stated in RA 6975 that police attachés will be manned by police. There will be police attachés in the other jurisdictions. But right now, we are deploying police attachés, so we have to institutionalize it by this amendment.
Mr. President, thank you. But my question is, what do we mean by other jurisdictions? All over the world, in every country where we have an embassy, there will also be a police attaché? Is that the intention?
Not all over the world, Mr.
It's not-
President.
okay.
Only selected jurisdictions like United States.
His Honor mentioned 7. So is there a need to increase that to 7? And what is that need so that we can help craft language that is clear? Because
Session resumed.
Mr. President, I just would like to respond to the query of Senator Pia Cayetano. At present, Mr. President, Your Honor, we have 8 police attaches maintained all over the world in coordination with the Department of Foreign Affairs. We have 2 in the United States, 1 in Los Angeles, and 1 in Washington, D.C. 1 in China, 1 in France, 1 in Indonesia, 1 in Malaysia, 1 in Saudi Arabia, 1 in Pakistan, and 1 in Thailand. The rank of these police attaches, Mr. President, are police colonel, except the United States, particularly Washington, D.C., which will hold the rank of Police Brigadier General.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no issue with the rank. My question has been, what do you mean by other jurisdictions? Kasi itong provision nyo states that there will be you will field more officers as police attaches in other jurisdiction. Ang tanong ko, sa buong mundo, dun ba sa allies natin, dun ba sa mga strategic locations, saan po tong other locations? It has to be more clearly defined. Yun lang naman po.
Other jurisdictions
As determined
means
by...
these eight jurisdictions, Mr. President. Itong 8 na ito.
Your Honor, what Mr. President, may I be clarified that what His Honor means is, at present, we do have 8 and we are just institutionalizing that 8 by including this provision.
Correct, Mr. President. Your
Would
Honor.
His Honor like to mention those 8? Because, again, as I said, when it just says in other jurisdictions, it presupposes that it's in some jurisdictions now and that there will be other jurisdictions where these positions would be filled. So I think an amendment is necessary to clarify, Mr.
Yes,
President.
I agree, Mr. President, Your Honor. We have to cite this, specify this in our amendment, and plus future,
Yes.
because the need of establishing a police attaché depends on the need of the OFWs in those territories.
Understand, Mr. President. And that's why the law should somehow define how the implementer of this law will determine what jurisdictions they will include. So as His Honor said, that will be determined where there are a lot of OFWs and they are needed there. Then perhaps that is the wording that should be included. In the
Yes.
following, not limited to the following, and possibly subject to style, other areas where the need for, I don't know, protection? I cannot provide the language, but if His Honor understands the point I am making, we are happy to review the language that His Honor feels would be best.
Yeah, I get the point of the good gentlewoman from Taguig and Pateros, Mr. President, and can I request, Mr. President, that we will just go back to
Yes,
this
of course.
particular
We can move
amendment and move on.
Of course.
After we have modified the wording subject to style.
Yes, may I just add one more point, Mr. President? Tama ho ba, Mr. President, that there are also attachés from the Department of Defense in these critical areas, and would those areas somehow overlap?
Correct, Mr. President. We have also defense attachés in those jurisdictions, but there is no overlapping of function because they concentrate on defense and the police attaché concentrates on police matters. Like, for example, our OFWs who are having problems with law enforcement or they are facing cases, these are the defense attachés cannot ably represent our government to these OFWs.
We understand, Mr. President. But with the example His Honor gave, would the position that needs to be filled now, would it not be a lawyer other than a police officer? Because if our kababayans are involved in a law enforcement operation and a case is filed against them, police ho ba ang kailangan nila o abogado?
Well, Mr. President, Your Honor, most of the time, because there should be police-to-police coordinations, the police agency of the host country and the police agency of the ones that were aggrieved, Mr. President. So, nag-uusap lang po sila. Nag-uusap po sila, police to police. So,
Are you sure about that? Because in my mind and my humble mind, I'm not an expert, parang abogado ho yung kailangan yata ng OFW. Hindi ho ako aware na tinatawag police.
Well, iba yung legal attaché, iba rin yung police attaché, Mr. President, because iba po yung trabaho nila.
So, Mr. President, may I give an example? If in case an OFW is accused of, nangyari na ho to, no, na pinatay niya yung amo niya dahil nilapastangan siya, ang kailangan ng OFW natin is police doon sa ibang jurisdiction?
There are matters that has to be taken care of by the police.
Paano
Mr.
mo
President,
magko-coordinate yung police ho doon? Kasi sa pagkakaintindi ko, abogado ho ang kumakausap doon. Or they
Well,
work together.
there are times, Mr. President, that we need to coordinate with the police in the area, in the host country. So we need the police officer coming from us to coordinate with them.
Anyway, Mr. President, I take note of the answer of the good sponsor. I will also do some quick research because I am very happy to support Mr. President, but given the limited resources, sinisigurado ko lang na kung sino yung kailangan, kasi pwede ko rin hong i-propose na kung as a bill for the OFW committee, our committee on, what's the name of our committee, DMW? Migrant workers. To consider deploying lawyers other than police, given the limited resources. So anyway, I will hold that part of my amendment, Mr. President, and do a little bit of research. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, Mr. President.
President,
Senator Tolentino is
I
recognized.
would just